Ladies and gentlemen, Sangpo, and welcome to Windy City, the home of TENSUNG FC, where we arrive at the closing stages of the first round of the BoB Bhutan Premier League. Today's fixture brings together two sides with very different ambitions, but both knowing just how important these 90 minutes could be. It is TENSUNG FC against THIMPHU City FC. For the home side, it has been a season of frustration more than anything else. 1 win, 2 draws and 5 defeats. Only Ugan Academy have collected fewer points through the opening round, and yet those numbers don't tell the whole story. TENSUNG began the season with genuine promise, a memorable home victory over what is now second place Transport United. A battling draw against the then league leaders BFF Academy. They showed everyone just how difficult they can be to play against, but since then goals have been hard to come by. The defensive organization remains. The commitment has never disappeared, but without finding the back of the net consistently, climbing away from the bottom has become an increasingly difficult task. One bright spark, however, has been between the posts. Izadoji quietly establishing himself as one of the league's most impressive goalkeepers, producing performances that have often kept TENSUNG in matches they might otherwise have had worse records with. Now, before we take a look at today's visitors, let's have a look at how both sides line up this afternoon. Here is the starting 11 for TENSUNG FC. Under head coach Kinle Penjo, it is Izadoji. On goal, Kaka in the starting lineup, Kinle, 24. Sonam Punso, their captain, Kinzan Leki Purpasange. Sangelegden, one of their key players in midfield, responsible for most of their build-up. It will be crucial going forward if they want to upset the citizens. Chinle, their first goal scorer, caused that upset versus Transport United, supplemented by Pelden and Sange. That is the starting 11 for TENSUNG. Now let's take a look at the lineup THIMPHU City FC has fielded over here at Windy City. Under head coach Rolo Zapata, it is Tsingdenrup on goal. Jitsin in the starting 11, as consistent as ever, number 7. Kushan this time in the starting 11 alongside Chieno. That centre-back partnership back a couple games back was Kushan missing for a couple games. Kush Bozorov still on the bench recovering. Kinzang, Tashi top 10 18, Jonathan Zorella 80, Organ 10, Daotsering, Jignam Seltop, Sadiq Suli, and their newest signing, Dominic Elijah Douglas, getting the start alongside Sadiq Suli. Will be interesting to see how that partnership aligns. A lot of expectations going forward. A lot of production from this squad. Their top scorer right now is Sadiq Suli, 2 assists to his name, complemented by 4 goals and 2 assists as well from his partner in crime, Bakroom, who is on the bench. Saw him start for a couple of games for City while Sadiq was out, but he is back on the bench. Their next greatest producer has been Jonathan Zorella, responsible for most of their build-up, number 80. 5 assists to his name, second right now in the assist leaderboard, right behind Richard Sania from Paro, who has 7. Organ, their captain, plenty of goals, plenty of assists, 3 goals and 4 assists to his name right now. Kilipen, Jokins, Atashi, and a couple others, plenty of goals. Karma Shedrup off the bench as well. Jignam Seltop, who this time is on the bench for THIMPHU City. With regards to the context as to which they arrived, the picture quite different from what Tensung is facing. The Citizens arrive 3rd place on 17 points, right in the heart of the title race. They sit just 1 point behind Transport United and only 2 adrift of the reigning champions and reigning league leaders, Paro FC. So their objective is clear: to challenge Paro's grip on Bhutanese football to remain within striking distance of the summit. But they also know that Windy City has never been an easy place to visit. Tensung have already shown this season that they can frustrate the league's best. They've claimed big results when few expected them. And if THIMPHU City are to continue their pursuit of first place, they will need to overcome a side that fights for every ball and for every point. So as the first round draws to a close, the story writes itself. One side battling to keep their season alive, the other determined to keep pace in the title race. And here at Windy City, we are all set for another compelling afternoon of Bhutan Premier League football. Again, ladies and gentlemen, Sangpo and welcome. It is THIMPHU City FC in blue facing off against Tensung at home in red. A quick rundown of the officials before we begin. It is main referee Purpa Wangcha, assisted by Pema, and then in sitting the 4th official for today, Virendra Rai. A lot of support from the Tensung crowd, but the weather very unpredictable. Do have a little bit of sunshine right now, but not quite sure how long it will last. So THIMPHU City right now showing some love over to their former head coach. A lot of players in the Bhutan football scene owe their careers over to the late, to the great Mr. Ngong Tendup, recently passed away. On screen is Tensung right now. Their captain missed that away game versus Zirang, but that is his only absence so far. The rest of his squad's goal productions from Chilewangdi, from Sangdelegden off of a dramatic free kick, and from Kilit Sitting in that amazing volley versus BFF, a couple of others, but no consistent results yet. On the other end, the captain for THIMPHU City, Organ Wanchu, has been stellar since his return to Bhutan football. So before we officially begin, do let me know which team you think will come out on top. THIMPHU City right now aiming for the top flight, aiming for top rank. Tensung right now, even if they get away with the win, they will not be able to escape relegation zone. It will be It will put them in much better position. They are at 5 points. The team above them, Drukpa, are at 10 after that draw recently yesterday. BFF Academy versus Drukpa FC 2-2. Neither team able to find a winner. With 9 points separating first from 8th. 9th on the other end. Will have to work a lot harder. And with the whistle, we are underway. Not quite sure how much of the wind you can hear, but it is roaring. Again, prayers up. Hopefully that weather will be in favor of the players. Last time around versus an academy, I believe, did have to temporarily put a stoppage to the match due to an intense downpour of rain. As THIMPHU City now in possession of TENSUNG's mistake. Back out to Chieno. They do have a strong lineup in the entirety of their starting 11. In fact, Johnson bolstering that position up in front of those centre backs, Chieno and Kushan. By every means, very capable. Kinle has gotten consistent minutes. This time has been announced as a starter. Dawa, not the level of production we expect from a guy who has so many accolades to his name, so many attributes of an elite caliber. That signature shot of his, that shot power of his, so far has not netted one. A lot of free kick opportunities as well, given over to Jonathan Zorella, looking more for a creative outlet from the side of THIMPHU. But since calling the Argentinian coach in, THIMPHU City, since the start of their campaign, destroying THIMPHU FC in that opening, has brought on a lot of hope, a lot of expectations from their fans. Amazing record right now, 17 points on the board, third in the table, the chance 4-1. As THIMPHU City down on the flank, will look to float one in. Yes, they do, but overhit on the delivery. It is Tensung's to clean up. Kille. Now back out. Jitin closing in. Always love to see the motor on THIMPHU City's number 7. Never gives up everywhere on the ground all at once, and that pays dividends time and time again. So many crucial opportunities THIMPHU City has gotten courtesy of their number 7's ball-winning ability. Almost put to good use there, but right down the middle, stolen away. Jonathan chips one up front to Sadiq Suli, looking to control it, but overhit on that shot. Missed by a mile. It will be Yezidojis to take the other way. Hard to send the ball long with that sort of wind against you. May not go that far, yes. No short of even reaching the center line with that wind against them. Sadiq Suli off to Dawa, off of a wonderful succession of passes. Dawa still on that left, looking for a teammate right inside. But here's there with an early denial, but unfortunate contact with Douglas. As he is grimacing right inside. A closer look at that. not quite foul there, just simply unfortunate. As Dominic Elijah went in for that ball, but just ended up running into Yezatoji's left shoulder. Early incident here for the military boys. Hopefully their goalkeeper is okay. Does seem like he will be fine going forward. Just the impact that took him down on the ground. Well, with that, a dramatic turn of events here in the first 5 minutes with an early opportunity from THIMPHU City. But so far, not quite enough to find the cherry on top as Tower looking on that left flank again to find one in. They do have two similar profiles posted right up inside that box. Earlier, it was only Sadiq Suli, their excellent target man. But since bolstering that right flank with Dominic Douglas, pretty much a similar profile as Sadiq Suli, both equally as competent up in the air, very lanky, very pacey as well. And look at that right up in front of the goalkeeper. Kids are top, then back to his antics. Delivery looking solid. Chaos right inside the 6-yard box, but just not enough contact to finish it off. Is there? Continuing to go down. A closer look at that possession. Doesn't really seem like it ever came close. The person on the right hand side, it was a sea of red surrounding that ball. Kushan, one of three Uzbekis, a part of this squad, the only one starting right now. Bakrom did get plenty of minutes, plenty of time to shine. Had that one amazing hat-trick. Very quickly as well, 19 minutes I believe the time it took from the first to the third. On the other end, Kush Polzarov saw him a couple of games early on, but ended up breaking his nose in a practice match versus THIMPHU, if I'm correct. After which, had to go for surgery, could not play a couple of games. Did see him return with a mask on his face to protect that nose of his. But THIMPHU City right now, playing it safe, not risking that long game. As TENSUNG get a long one in for themselves, but not enough. Nobody getting proper control of the ball. But right out of that chaos, Sadiq Suli now off to the wing. THIMPHU City retreating, but they do end up getting a lot of yards up front. Tried to send it in with that left one, but a nonchalant clearance there by TENSUNG's captain, Sompunso, getting one off now up front to Peldon. Always love to see the motor and the sheer energy in the military boys. Always gives them an edge, but just the concern with their part has been the fact that that energy is not giving them any goals. A lot of games which ended 1-0. A lot of games where one goal made the difference for TENSUNG. An answer that they simply could not get. And when they had their players getting those contributions up, that production up, looked a lot brighter as he is there. Again, amazing save by the TENSUNG goalkeeper. Smart decision making there, got to it right in time as Sadiq put up that touch. Left no chance there for the forward. Closer look at that again, that touch. Just in time before he could get the second, and Yezer went there first. sitting. Solid save this time around. Last time when he got that international call-up, so many similar reads he got wrong, but back in the league, back to form. Well, the first proper possession inside for Dominique at the end of the league's pass. Unfortunately, lets it roll for TENSUNG's possession the other way. Sonam.
Angle task. Zoom in.
Is it? THIMPHU City's possession yet one more time. Fizzling out a bit too casual with those passes coming in from THIMPHU. But right now pretty confident in winning possession back as they do immediately after that goal kick. Sadiq. One of TENSUNG's best defenders, Kinzang Tochi. This time, may have wanted that jersey swap a bit too early. You'll have to wait until the game ends for that chance as Tawa misses wide. Seems like his technique has gotten rusty with the lack of efforts this season from 17. TENSUNG getting possession back. Kinzang playing it right up, but posted a heavy. TENSUNG still in possession. Down the middle. Kinle finds an outlet out towards Tawa, helping develop right in that back line. Turn around, plenty of space to get an outlet past Purpa. And now chance up front, THIMPHU City in a solid possession, but got that ball way too under that one. Missed is there, missed the post, missed the opportunity as well. Decent chance up front for THIMPHU, but now facing pressure from TENSUNG. Sonam looking to build it up for the home team, but just not enough power on that one as THIMPHU taking it back. Jonathan Zorella looking to drive it up down that wing. Dominic Douglas. They do have help right down the middle. Dawa far out as well. If he can follow it up with a volley, if the delivery has just too much power, but Sadiq ended up catching it right down the middle, just not enough to guide it in past Yese. Almost a Korovina win. Still yet another wave coming in from THIMPHU City. It is sent back out first time. TENSUNG runners down the line. Legged in. May want to look to drive in a bit more deeper. Getting involved up front in their opponent's half may give TENSUNG a lot more answers with 17 with the ball. It's 17 on the ball. Prupa looking to arc one in. TENSUNG, despite lacking in stature, their frame allows them to get in a lot of chances. But this time it is lifted up high by Chieno. The follow-up from Kinlet sitting just not there. A similar opportunity from much closer. Got him that fantastic volley in against BFF Academy. But right now, way too distant from that memory to have any chance with that one. On screen is THIMPHU City's head coach, the Argentinian. Decent ball played up front, Dominique. Just a bit far too behind to get any sort of initiative out of that one. Morgan coming in for the press, forces that pass down the middle, recovered by Jitin. Sadiq Suli. The timing on that challenge came in clean there from the military boys. Had that coming. Sheer volume from THIMPHU City as Sadiq Suli somehow catches everyone off guard with that shot. TENSUNG left expecting a drive in. And in the midst of it all, Sadiq got a lot of space to wind up that foot and just sent it easy and calm past Yezer. Again, a closer look at that one. Jitsin, solid outlet. And Sadiq with a lot of space. TENSUNG's defenders late to the closeout. And an early lead for the visitors here. Just 2 minutes past the first quarter of an hour. Not every day is Itoji is beat in that fashion. This time, just caught off guard with that one. But it is a goal nonetheless. Sadiq Suli continuing on with his climb up in the rankings for the top scorers of the BoB Bhutan Premier League. Now right up alongside Tiger Kitajima. 7 goals to Sadiq Suli's tally. Still counting as Kinzang will lob it up high. A lot of power behind that throw-in, but it is out. And THIMPHU City is to play. Suli now fired up. Try to get a bit of flair there, but not enough. TENSUNG gets it right back. Well, not for long. Now with again. The sun in their eyes down on that right flank. Still manages to awkward in. Kinzan right inside just couldn't get a touch in despite so many attempts. Entangled with the defender at that point. Dominique taking on that first assignment, looking to win the ball early. Sadiq had that angle covered, but still managed to get one out to that left flank. Hogan may have been a bit too reckless there. Did well on that first one. The follow-up just a bit too lazy there from THIMPHU City's captain. Got right up in there with Kaka. As now Sompunso looking to send one in long. It is Kushan who gets to it. For THIMPHU City to build up now. Down that right flank, they do have an open lane. A stumble down the first, but still an outlet over to Dominique, who only has to cut in and get that shot off. But that touch took him right to the defender's spot. Does THIMPHU City get a wild one out? Kaka for TENSUNG, but the shot blocked off. Up in the air for anybody to take. Dawa unable to keep it under control. A wild swing in from Jitsin is enough to get it over to Dawa. Back out to Organ, who gets a clean one in down on that right flank. TENSUNG has 6, tracking back, but that may be a step too late. Decided to go in for the kill, ended up sending it right over to Yezid Toji for an easy save for the TENSUNG goalkeeper. Sangilik then. Now Purpa. The referee caught in the way of that run. Will hand over the possession to TENSUNG. Again, a closer look at that one. Right up in front of the player. Left no room there to get to that ball, but it is still Johnson Zorelas. TENSUNG. Simply unfortunate in the way that possession ended, but now Orkin looking to make things even worse. Douglas. Just a bit too committed on that run up front. Lost his awareness for only a moment. Was enough to get that flag up. Typically, TENSUNG over at Tencheling. A very intimidating team to face, but this season their record not quite reflecting that legacy of theirs. Started off with a win, continued on, built up losses. Losing record right now at home, THIMPHU City. Proving that point right now, but still too early to tell. We do have a lot of football left in this match as Jonathan Zorella plays it back to Tiano. Equally as capable in terms of facilitating that ball up front. And now on the flank. Got that overlap, timed brilliantly. Lofted one up. Hard touch for everybody inside that challenge. Kinle. Jonathan, Sadiq Suli gets a touch in over to Dawa, switching over to that right. A compacted box inside, which TENSUNG ends up denying nonetheless. However, the onslaught still not over yet. TENSUNG will not get a movement to breathe. Kinlek back to Chiano. Space right down the middle. Jitin lets it roll for Dawa. And now on the left, Dominic Douglas tries one in. Looking for that finish, but off to the side of the net there from Sadiq Sulik. Decent effort, got the space to get that shot off. Man down at the 25-minute mark for TENSUNG. Inside the first 5 minutes, it was their goalkeeper, Yeze, coming off of that collision from Dominic Douglas that got his left shoulder with a bit of worry to deal with going into the match. And right now, they have one more. It is their opening goal scorer for their campaign. But as he is getting evaluated, we do have possession back for Yezedoji and TENSUNG. A solid turnout from their home crowd, making their love felt. That 12-man bonus definitely an aspect of the game that THIMPHU City will have to respect. Right now, they are only at 1. By no means a comfortable lead for them to sit on. Askinle tries one right down the middle. Eze gets a hand on it first. Manages to guide it towards Legden. And TENSUNG back to Sonam. Pressure still not over. Jonathan right up there taking on that assignment. But now TENSUNG will find a clean series of passes all the way up front, where they have no one. Belden was posted right down on that wing, but that final pass sent right down the middle towards Chiano and sitting Dendo. Sadiq involved in the creative aspect as well. Kinzatashi topped in. Looking for a wind-up. Proper effort, just inches off the target. Also seems like there was a sub made for TENSUNG. Kilewangbi will not be able to continue on with the match. It is instead 19 Pukdoji who has come in for TENSUNG. A much better opportunity for TENSUNG to work with. Open play, not really their forte. Instead, now with the chance to focus most of their personnel up front. The only question now is, can they get a decent look off of this one, Purpa? Bends one in, left side of the post, but not enough power there. Legged in on the cleanup, left footed, right inside. Kept it under control there from, well, Kilitsering and Sonam Punso just gave up on that play. Quickly tracking back, they may want to get a bit more numbers in before dealing with this wave from THIMPHU City. There's now Organ. Has Jitsin right down the middle. Jonathan. Much deeper inside TENSUNG territory as Tawa now looking to get one in over that left flank. They do have an angle, but that run has been nullified. Was a solid opportunity. Saw a similar goal after coming in the second half versus the Academy, I believe. It was Kile. Made a blistering run down on that left. A merciless strike that, despite the angle, somehow managed to find at the back of the net in, looking to recreate that same scene over here at Tenchale, but will not fall. Strong challenge there from THIMPHU City. Earns the throw-in right back out. TENSUNG forced to retreat inside their own half. There's Dorgan. Kile did well putting enough pace on that ball here. Not trying to keep it down, but just too hard of a pinball there as it went right out. Legden keeping it under control for Likitandin. Legden still finds a pass back out to their captain. Kaka back to Sonam and now over to the other flank. Decent chance there coming off of a solid position in midfield there. Jitsin just a bit too ambitious with that pass. May have been even difficult for guys like Awayomi to get at the end of that, but it is still one out of winning. Had that one assist early on in their opener from Sadiq Suli in the 17th minute. Kinza. TENSUNG in dangerous territory, lobs one up high, but Chieno may get to it first before Kaka. Amazing job recovering on that possession. Looked like TENSUNG may have been given an opportunity. Looked like they had been given an opportunity there. But the sheer quickness from the centre-back will force that retreat from the military boys. A slow stretch in the game right now. THIMPHU City taking their sweet time. In the meanwhile, TENSUNG look like they have a certain vigor in their step. It may be tested on their other end instead. That's a decent pass up front. Only the connection left with Sadiq and Dominique inside left footed. Able to keep it under control as they will let it roll out. Jonathan's header responded in kind. Anyone's ball. Leg then sends it off to the flank. TENSUNG now find themselves in a lot of space up front. Belden helping out on the wings. May not want to go in that deep, because that does leave an open hole right up in front where Belden is supposed to be. Time and time again, their efforts are nullified. But the sheer lack of people up front, this time they do have a certain set of numbers. A respectable number of red jerseys inside THIMPHU City's half. Purpa sends it up front to Kinle. They try to get one in towards Licky Tandin, but just a bit too forward on that pass. Opportunity denied yet again by THIMPHU City. Chieno right now at the sole end of so many critical possessions, critical chances for Tensung. And on the other end, Chieno can rest assured his teammates doing pretty decent this time around. It is sent back to Tensung's goalkeeper, Yeze. Chance up front. Dawa. Defenders a step too far behind. Dominique at the end of that finish. Off and Dawa. After a long, long while, THIMPHU City's star boy will find one finally for himself. Solid chemistry up front between the two tugglers with the effort. Gave enough time, enough space there for Tawa to put a calm one in. A closer look at that possession again. Yeze did well saving the first, but still a step too late, not expecting that ricochet to fall the way of one of the league's most premier goal-scoring threats, who has been dormant all along this season. Made us wait until the end of round one to finally see one in from Tawa. Hopefully with that, Tawa's confidence, with which he becomes a very dangerous guy to deal with. Hopefully that side of his is back. Seasons after seasons, he has terrorized the league, and right now, after a questionable start to the campaign, now the ice broken. THIMPHU City restart on defense. 2 up against Tensung. Yes, sir. Send it right toward the teammate, at least down the middle. Purpa. Now off to Liktandin. Sompunso. Sangelegden. They want to look to get involved a bit further than that, as that attempt at a cross-in is intercepted by THIMPHU City, and the chance for redemption a bit too hefty. Whistle will send it the other way. Less than 10 minutes remain. THIMPHU City do have a decent amount of numbers to work with up front, but TENSUNG will outnumber them nonetheless. Sanghalegden back out. Kaka took a heavy touch there. May have been enough for THIMPHU City to get a touch in. Kizatashi does well, getting possession up front. Down on that right wing, at the edge of the box, steadily making progress. Cuts into the left, missed that swing first time. Krishan now off to Zorella, who will take a driven one himself. But the defender in the way took it head on. Dominique, solid chance, but Sompanto given enough time to send it out for yet another way from THIMPHU City. TENSUNG doing all they can, but despite that, having already conceded 2 goals, they may need to up their efforts a bit more. Jonathan Zorella. Sweet chip down the middle, attempt right post, but here's Itoji this time. Manages to get there quickly before that ball could reach the nets. Demdo. Haven't seen him in a while in this match. 4 minutes left of regular time. Sadiq Suli, Chetan. Dominique straight down the middle. Maybe an option, but Sonampunso taking on that assignment. Dominique having to step up, forces a pass. Ends up with TENSUNG's goalkeeper. Dominique over to Tawa. Tried to wade in between the defenders out there, but forced to retreat. Jonathan will chip it up over to Organ, back out to Jitin. Too many bodies in the way again. TENSUNG right now doing a solid job with their defense. Not many angles getting past them unless they are forced to switch it up over to the other flank. Overload's taking the best out of them. But out of this one, at least they get an opportunity up front. Kinley now back. Sompunso involves himself up front. May get the chance for a proper attempt, but way too long with that touch. But Tenzin misses, and now back the other way for THIMPHU. Sadiq Suli may get a heat check in. 1 against 2. Sonam retreating. Pass inside. Dominique posted up. Back out towards Sadiq Suli. Keeps it online. TENSUNG clipped it last. Well, seems like it is a goal kick that has been awarded the other side again. A closer look at that. A touch the other way away from Jitin may have given him a chance at a shot there, but solid effort from Jitin nonetheless. Solid chance inside that box, just can't find anyone to follow up. Still there. solid chance inside that box. So TENSUNG had the chance to follow it up proper as well. Awkward positioning there to get that shot off. Way too far out to that left. Looking to ride on that very momentum. TENSUNG playing very, very active right now. Jonathan. Two more minutes of additional time. Will it be enough for TENSUNG to find at least an answer back to go into the halftime break with a lot of weight off their shoulders? Tieno. TENSUNG in possession. Lekitandin. Lekten. TENSUNG may be waiting a bit too much for this one. THIMPHU City now settling inside their own half. Deny any look at all for TENSUNG. Felon. Now off to the flanks. The last minute of play in the first half. Lekten. A header, keeps it right down the middle. It is Kushan Ganityanov who gets at the end of it, and TENSUNG now snuffed out of all hopes. THIMPHU City may get the last chance. Kinle making a run down on that left flank, but Sadiq Sudi unable to retain possession. Tying seconds of the match way past the additional time allowed. It may be TENSUNG's last chance to decided to play it short, and in the midst of it all, the referee will send the whistle off. TENSUNG's captain Sonam making a couple of appeals, but it was on TENSUNG themselves. Should have launched one in sooner, to at least give themselves a better excuse there. But as it stands, we go into the halftime. THIMPHU City 2, TENSUNG nil. Goal scorers for THIMPHU City are Sadiq Sudi, open it up in the 17th minute, and Tawat Sering, well, I'm glad to see score in the 35th minute. Production as satisfying as it could be from THIMPHU City, but the home crowd may want one or two more to fall in from the side of TENSUNG FC, who are right now struggling up front. But until then, see you guys after the break. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Sampo, and welcome back to the second half in an exciting bout between the two here at Windy City. It is TENSUNG FC in red, the home side, versus THIMPHU City FC in blue, leading right now 2-up against TENSUNG, courtesy of goals from Sadiq Sudi, the man who just went down. And Daud Sitting does look like it is serious. Did try to walk on it a couple steps ahead. But, well, it is smiling through. Just a little bit of calibration needed going forward. But that does end up getting Jonathan Zorilla a chance now for THIMPHU City early on, since the restart still inside the first minute of the second half. And now Jonathan Zorilla playing it all the way down to the flank where Organ may have a better angle. Organ steadily making it roll. Kush. They try to send it right back out, but intercepted by TENSUNG. It will be Organ all the way deep inside. Dominique gets the throw in, but the double team, plenty of effect against Dominique Douglas. And now TENSUNG's possession, but a lot of energy, a lot of motor there from THIMPHU City. Gets one in, may look for a shot. Try to set it up instead. Sadiq and Dominique both inside, but that ball just a tad too much power inside. Now out to Yeze. Jonathan, Dominique, right down the middle. Stonham taking that assignment. Organ's target may be right inside. It was, but just a bit too low. That header looking for a follow-up is cleaned up proper. Sangiletto has been an amazing partner for Solampunso this campaign. So many chances is denied again and again. If it's a ground ball, leave it up in the air. It is Solampunso. Make sure of the cleanup, but now back the other way. Giano Ndu. Kushan Ganijanov. Uzbeki finding Jitin. Not much space on that right flank. THIMPHU City forcing it up long. Did have plenty of lift, but not enough to get past those defenders. As THIMPHU City taking it back in again. Jitin now off on the wings. There. Nawa right up front. That pass, however, will go right down the middle. Kinzang gets a touch in. It will be sent the way of Yezetoji. Is there getting involved a lot? Time and time again throughout the season, we have seen teams that looked to get hot with a lot of possessions deep, testing the keeper early, testing the keeper through sheer volume. We have seen those teams be rewarded with a lot of conversions at the end. And right now it is THIMPHU City with that momentum going their way. TENSUNG, despite being down by 2 right now, their home crowd still showing no signs of slowing down. Organ gets that flick up over Kinzang, but a bit too hard. Sangel Leto sends it out. Kinzatashi Organ picks it up again, and Leto again. Amazing effort on that defensive end, denying THIMPHU City's possession time and time again. Solid pass connected for TENSUNG. Typically, we do not see them reach this point of their possession. But this time they do make a couple of clean passes up front and on the wing. Pukdoji, who was brought in earlier for Chinawangdi, who went down, does a job decent enough to set themselves up for an opportunity dangerously close to THIMPHU City's nets. Sompunso may want to get himself a little bit of action right inside that 6-yard box. At the 15-minute mark, there's the whistle. Lobbed up, far post, it is. Headed away by THIMPHU City. Sompunso, no chance with that one. Sadiq Suli downed again. Again, finding himself in a decent chance. But that curler came in way too early there. But can't really question that judgment from the captain time and time again. We have seen shots with much lesser effort fall for the guy. The most notable one was that turnaround he got right up at the edge of the box. Got everyone off guard, got himself a goal. As now TENSUNG. Chance all the way up in front of Tireng Tendam, who just now faced his first proper test of the match. Had a lot to be worried about there. It was clean. Actually, a replay of the earlier chance there for Organ. Had the entirety of that right post open. But again, that spin on that ball came in way too early, and on the other end, TENSUNG getting a decent chance as well. Kazata stopped then, down for THIMPHU City, may want to get a medic called in. Also a closer look at that collision. Well, seems like Kinzang went down a bit too early. He is a solid defender, really loves initiating those contacts. The physical battle, he enjoys time and time again, he thrives upon it in fact. But this time may not have been the best of decisions as THIMPHU City get an opportunity. Dangerously close to Yezetoji. Down on the wings. Kinzang being helped up. Jonathan on the set piece. If TENSUNG can recreate the defensive form they showed us in the first half, we may see THIMPHU City staring the mouth ajar at the chance wasted. TENSUNG's home crowd willing that ball out of bounds. As to whether that will be answered, all up to number 80 for THIMPHU City, Jonathan Zorilla. Second in the league in assists as it stands right now. 5 to his name. Second behind it, Tanzania from Paro. Has been a stellar signing for the side of THIMPHU City this time around. But on the other end, TENSUNG. Nothing to lose, everything to gain out of this match if they can just hold out from one more. But that opportunity has been denied. As Sadiq Suli goes on to get his second and THIMPHU's third. No challenge there, no need to rise up. Sadiq Suli now climbs up to the list of the top of the scorers list. 8 goals to his name in this campaign, tied up alongside Yuta Mishima. and Rinzin Toji. On the other end, Jonathan Zorella, one more assist to his name. And now only one behind Richard Sanya from Paro. This win pretty much in the bag. TENSUNG, statistically speaking, very unlikely that they will score 3 in the match. But for THIMPHU City, a chance to get their names up in the record books going forward. Now hyped up, Dawa already one on the board, may look to take one for himself. This time Unselfish tried to hand it over down the middle, but still an opportunity. Again, can he get the shot? But that touch will let it roll right up front. A bit too hefty with that one from the captain. Jitsin tracking back. Zorilla there as well. THIMPHU City, a lot of personnel. Kinzatashi seems to be back online as well, back on his feet. TENSUNG got one in up front. Tenzing wanting a bit more involvement from his teammates. Potentially very dangerous. Kaka now off to the flanks. Well, at least the promise was a great taste right down the middle. As Kinzatashi downed again. Stretcher has been brought in, as it seems like that will be it for Kinzatashi. Spectacular involvement here in this match. But THIMPHU City will not see a drop-off in terms of performance. A lot of names they could fall back on. Jignam Seltov, Kush Bozorov, Tsetim Peza, Bakrom, Karma Shedrup. A lot of consistent names we've seen all throughout THIMPHU City's campaign this season. On the bench, a lot of options for head coach Rolo Zapata. TENSUNG, legged in. Decent job getting Kinzang involved right down the middle. Amazing footwork there from the defender. Deflected off, it will be TENSUNG's opportunity from a corner. Solid effort there from Kinzang to force at least an effort. And THIMPHU City's defense to get involved there, as it may be a chance to get one in and claw their way back into this game. It is a quick delivery, plenty of backspin headed in. It is TENSUNG. The finish, however, has been denied. Had a swing coming in, had a slide coming in. The slide got to it first, but the man is down. A closer look at that one. Plenty of pandemonium right up inside. Gilnet's hitting. Looking to wind up that second time around. As TENSUNG, man down for the military boys as well. Captain having a little bit of fun. The referee and the opposition as his teammates down on the ground. Not quite sure what the exact issue is, but Belden is back up on his feet. Already one substitution made for TENSUNG. Not sure who will be the other one if Belden is unable to continue. As it seems like THIMPHU City preparing a lot of substitutions. It is Karma Shedrup on screen, former national team captain, a part of Bhutan football for a long time. The other guy on screen is the other Uzbeki, Bakrom. Sadiq Suli's partner as one of their side's top scorers. As it seems like THIMPHU has been brought in for Kinzatashi. Kushbozorov, you can see the effects of the surgery. Still may need to be careful about aerial challenges. His nose recently worked on. But that does look a little nice, doesn't it, wearing that mask? Not really every day you get to see an accessory like that one. They will come right in to challenge yet another corner from TENSUNG. Back-to-back opportunities. Hopefully they can make a decent one out of this. Sampunzo may have a lot to do here, but that delivery may have had a bit of involvement with the win there. Sherup back out to Tsering. Sherup. Organ right down the middle, having to jog a little bit to get to it first. Chiano. Dawa. Organ, Sherup right down the middle. Markram on that left. Sadiq still down that middle. Pass will go out to the right. Sejam. Still Sherup. Well, a left-footed curler went right in, but too far out. Too far away from any of his teammates. Markram went down, but the referee will say play on. Sonam. Solid clearance there from the military captain. A closer look at that possession, that challenge, that double team that sent Bakrom down. Hopefully he is okay. Already a lot of personnel getting injured out here on the grounds. If Tinchuling has possession, now back to Chiano. Sherup. Kushan in that backhand option. Yes, pass does go to him. Sherup down the middle. Organ as well. Will be Dawa dropping deep in. Dawa, a clean one off to the left. Met that runner right in stride. Tried to get one in with that left foot, but not enough lift to properly threaten that back line for TENSUNG. Organ. Toji tried his best, still Organ, however. Kaka now up for the assignment, but that pass will go over down the middle to Kamashiro. Kushan. Again. Sherup. Off to Kushan. Wonderful string of passes coming in. Down the wing. Ends up in a solid run there. Fake. And he's through. Sadiq Suli. Right down the middle. Tried to lob it in towards either Sitim or Sadiq Suli. Did not expect a tower to be in the way. Sompunso had that coming right towards his head. But it is THIMPHU City's possession again. 5 minutes past the hour mark. THIMPHU City up by 3, courtesy of a brace from Sadiq Suli and one from Dawa. TENSUNG manages to still keep it under control. Organ coming in. Smart escape there from Ken Zhang. Found the only angle available to him at that point in time. As now Sadiq outside. Organ. Yes, there with a powerful clearance. Not even a whiff of that ball up front for Backroom. Right back towards Sringdendrup. It is THIMPHU City's back line. Close off by a decent zone there from TENSUNG, but left that flank completely open. Dawa has a lot of space if he wants to take one up himself, but decides to lift one in over to the flanks. Push Bozorov. Dawa. Sherup. Decent run in, a lot of options. Edge of the box and the shot. Way out wide over to the basketball courts in the behind. Looks like he definitely enjoyed that opportunity. However, why that miss may have been. As TENSUNG on the other end, still a lot of burden on their shoulders. 3 goals. The deficit they have to clean up. Still a lot of time to go here in this match if TENSUNG can get a couple of decent possessions in, but Sitim on the other end will hand it right back over to Kin Zhang. Yes, sir. Plays it up long at the end of it is decent effort, but a distasteful effort on that touch. As TENSUNG a bit harsh, trying to get that redemption in. Does seem like this time taking it is Kush Bozorov. Hopefully his ability and vision is not affected by any way. As right up inside his Itochi lets it roll towards him. Decent effort, had a lot of runners closing in on that ball, just milliseconds late of getting a shot off in that position. Kaka gets one in from a distant range. Jide right towards setting Tendo. At least it was on target, however. Typically, we see THIMPHU's number 10 operate up front alongside Belden. But this game has started his involvement from much further in. Sit him. Got a decent knock in, but it was right in the way. But right in the way was Sonpunso. TENSUN's captain who do well denying that first opportunity. And the military boys with a decent chance right down the middle. Purpa Tenzin closing in strong. Organ. Still Purpa. Expected his teammate to make that run up front. Ended up backfiring. As it is now THIMPHU City's possession. Doji, very strong guy, typically hard to take down, but this time sent down to the ground with that challenge. Cesar having to step up in that gap on that left flank. Again, a closer look on that challenge that came in from Shirup. Shirup, decent one in towards Bakrom, but Yeze got to it first again. So many timely interventions there by the TENSUN goalkeeper. As the wind picking up here at Venturing. Kushan Ganejanov. Shedderpan Organ right down the middle, but will get their goalkeeper involved. Sring Tendrup closing in. Tensung. Desperal putting enough pressure there on Sring Tendrup. Knocking down. Chance up front, Dawa right in the middle of that touch. And finding an escape is Shero. Sadiq Suli from Ponto. Hansang Electra taking that assignment. Left foot. Aim far post. But that ball reached the ground, which took most of the spin out of that effort. Had it been up in the air, would have seen a different ending to this story. Quarter will now remain. THIMPHU City still up 3 against TENSUN's nil. The military boys at home still unable to find an answer past Sring Tendrup. They've got a lot of chances early on. But right now their efforts fully focused on defense against a rejuvenated THIMPHU City side, Sadiq Suli, especially with those two ever so close to a hat-trick. Maybe looking to get those volumes up from his side. Tendrup held back literally as well, as THIMPHU City will get the whistle from the referee. Seems like Kaka is being taken out. TENSUNG FC. Coming in is Ugewanshu Namgyal. Saw him start in the last 2 games. Will continue to play that role, which Kaka was trying to fill. Sange Ligden, typically the guy responsible for build-up right up in front of his centre-backs. And the guy to orchestrate the entirety of the arsenal up front is a role designated for Ugewanshu Namgyal as Kenzang. Decent one in, but it is right towards Sering Tendo, who did not really have much to do to deny that effort. Uptoji. Ugewanshu Namgyal lost his balance, but still managed to get an outlet out towards Kenzang, who is looking wide awake right now. A lot of chances being created by TENSUNG's left back. This time, number 3 does retreat, leaving the toss up to the rest of his teammates. Ends up backfiring. Tawa has helped Sadiq Suli right over the other flank. Tawa and Bakrom on the other side, but stolen off of that touch. An amazing read there by TENSUNG. Sadiq went tumbling up in the air, had one more spin, added up on top as well. As the yellow card has been awarded over to Sangaleto. Sadiq Suli now up immediately after that tumble. Again, a closer look at that one. Well, not quite sure what that follow-up was, but did well getting that whistle from the referee. Logan. There was one in right inside the box, but the scent of a goal denied by TENSUNG's captain yet again. Decent strike. Almost had the follow-up right inside there from Purpa. But danger averted. Maybe a while until TENSUNG gets their next one. But right now, THIMPHU City no need to rush. No pressure at all. 3 goals up. Back out to Seringdendo. Again, now a lot more responsibility without Jonathan Sorella in their lineup. Did get a clean pass out to the wings, but not enough to keep it under control. TENSUNG the other way. That lane, plenty of openings. Berlin. Yuanchu steadily closing in. It is a brilliant move there from Poptochi. Let's run off all the way far out and wide. Could have stacked 2 goalposts and still wouldn't have been enough to be on target for that one. The wind right now working against the home team. Kushan. With cheeky there from Purbatenzin. The follow-up, however, will get the warning from the referee. Solid reading, got that touch in, and now possession the other way for the Reds. TENSUNG, a bit of flair there right down the middle, got that possession right back out. Got a step back, but that step forward, not the answer going forward. Noah, decent look in, but shut off early. Had that going right towards the defender, out of which THIMPHU City will get yet another corner. Already showed us his return back to form with that goal early on. In the 35th minute was Dominic Douglas, who did most of the setting up. Went at it with the shot, out of which the rebound mercifully fell over the tower for an open net finish. But at least that should help get his confidence up, because he is one of the league's most electrifying performers. His goals, his ability, his power in both legs of a next level. The only problem is we haven't really seen much of that shine this season. As Kenneth hitting for TENSUNG being helped out on the sidelines, TENSUNG will defend with 1 less inside that box. Now posted right outside the D area. Liksuli in, Tieno back post. Both capable options of getting a finish in pass. Kushbozarov, short option. Hogan. Curling one in, off of a header, and it is in Bakarov! And there it is, his signature celebration. Freud first with an assist, followed it up with the hat-trick, and now he has 1 more. 5 goals to his campaign so far, as Uzbeki will continue on with his amazing scoring streak up front. Not really the tallest striker, but you can be sure that he is a hands-full striker for any defender to take on. Really loves the minutes he gets up front, cherishing every possession. Giving credit where it's due, thanking Morgan for that setup. Sadiq Suli a couple of words as well. As THIMPHU City now up by 4, 5 minutes left. All the way on the other side, TENSUNG hunting for just the tiniest sliver of hope. Get things going for their home defense, but at this point, victory way too far away, as a couple of substitutions being made. THIMPHU City. All the way back, Hassan Ganajanov. Sadiq Suli. Dangerous opportunity up front, but did have the whistle before it all developed. Not quite sure how much of the wind you can hear, but it sure is picking up. Fortunately, we have had a match without any incidences from the weather. Still out of bounds. THIMPHU City with the throw in. Much further in. Decent look there from TENSUNG, but again, as has been their story all game long, all those shots way above the crossbar. Not quite sure if they are expecting challenges to come in, but they are just getting those shots off a bit higher than they would like. Well in the front against sitting. There's played back. Shan. Dodgy down on the wing, but it will be a lofty run all the way up front. So Nampunso gets there right on time before it sits him. TENSUNG in possession now in the last minute of regular times. Almost sent it over to THIMPHU City, but it is TENSUNG who keeps possession, looking to cut right in. A lot of space being exploited as TENSUNG will not find her teammate on that outlet. It may be THIMPHU City's last laugh. All of their forwards on fire right now. That ball could go to anyone. Kalmasherup hands it off to Bakrom. At the edge of the box, right foot winding up, shot blocked off. Follow up there, still Bakrom. Now space off of that turnaround. Forced to retreat that recovery as quick as it could possibly have been from TENSUNG. It's him. 4 more minutes of additional time in this bout between THIMPHU City and TENSUNG, as we have Organ down on the ground. Making a couple of appeals from his part towards the referee, but it was a much more serious call than the referee assumed it to be. Without Zorilla, it is Kush Pozorov at the set piece for THIMPHU City. Had a decent look in early on over from that right flank. This time it is much more straightforward for him to deal with. With the whistle, Kush Pozorov chips one in, a header flicks it back, but an awkward angle to put a bullet in on that header. As TENSUNG unable to hold on to possession, Sherup gets away with that interception. Kush Pozorov down the flanks, Sadiq Suli on the middle, will pass it back to Organ. Is calming the tempo down a little bit for the visitors. Sichim, left-footed, hoping for Sherup to get at the end of it, but stolen away before it could ever reach Sherup. In the end, now back to Chiano. Bhutan fell in, making a run in, but it is a bit too casual there down the flanks. Pupa allowing yet another breach. It is Bakrom on that right. Chiro, with that feint, gets him a lot of space. That left foot cutting in, flicked up, Organ follow up. Plenty of power inside that one, but is it Dochi does well reacting to that strike. Amazing save from the goalkeeper, as THIMPHU City will be forced to retreat from the corner. No chance. Bask in the success of that save. Again, a closer look at that one. Perfectly set up there by Organ. Right up inside that shot from Kushan Nijanov, the centre-back, having a lot of fun for himself inside that one. Will be denied the pleasure of a celebration, as THIMPHU City hunting for one more. Delivery way too low. A lot of options right up in front of the goalkeeper if they can get that pinged right in the middle of that chaos. Push Bozorov. This time a bit more left, headed away by TENSUNG yet again. Back opportunities right now for THIMPHU City, but does seem like there was a call made against THIMPHU City. Possession ends. Is the Toji to take it out again. Last 30 seconds of play. Here's there. Drives it right down the middle. It is Ugen who gets first contact, but that follow-up missing from TENSUNG, as THIMPHU City may get the last opportunity to get one in. Pass is brilliant up front, but Yezer makes yet another clinical save. Amazing form there from the goalkeeper. Had it going right between his legs, but got down quickly enough to stall that ball long enough as the referee preparing to blow the whistle. And there it is, the home side suffering yet another victory, as THIMPHU City on the other end will jump right up to 20 points. The first to reach the 20-point mark in the league, one above Paro, two above Transport United, as THIMPHU City will end the match with a solid victory. A lot of players coming up alive. Kushan Ganijanov, plenty of chances to get a couple in for himself. But it was Sadiq Suli with the brace, Chitin with the first assist. Dawat Sering, welcome back. Finally back to scoring form. And Bakrom off the bench, who has found one in for himself. And with that, THIMPHU City will settle for 4 and 3 more points. TENSUNG on the other end will continue on. Still 5 points, still 9th on the table above Ugen Academy. And that is where the story ends here at Windy City. A lovely match here today, but on to the next one. This was your commentator, Winjesh Tochi. Thank you guys for your feedbacks. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you guys for tuning in. But until the next one begins, peace out.
Kala sini dan last na. Sini.